Hi there. Let's talk about practicing today. As adult lifelong learners, most of us simply want to feel like we're slowly but surely making progress at the harp. We don't necessarily need those extrinsic motivators like deadlines and passing grades. We're doing this because we love it. We love music and we love learning. But this also means that you just might need to think of some interesting ways to stay intrinsically motivated. And nothing is more motivating than feeling like you're improving, right? It's Anne here from Music Discoveries. I'd like to help you make the most of your valuable time with some intentional planning and a spark of creativity. Because when you feel like you're making progress, you're going to strengthen your identity as a musician. And when you identify as being a musician, then you're going to believe that you're the kind of person that makes time to practice every day. You see how this cycle works. I created a new practice planner for you to download so you can start planning and tracking your practice this week. I want you to be consistent and make time for your practice every day. It can be helpful to set goals, but mostly I want you to be curious and follow a kind and gentle path toward your continued learning. This practice planner is going to help you stay motivated by helping you identify what you've accomplished and what you still need to do in your next practice. And that's going to help you be more efficient with your time. New pieces will typically go through 3 different phases of learning. There's the basics, the skills, and the artistry. Let's talk about the basics phase. When you start a new piece, you have to focus on the foundational elements. You need to know the notes, the rhythm, and the fingering, don't you? You need to be able to read the notes and understand the patterns and structure of the piece. You need to be able to count the rhythms accurately. You need to take time to work out consistent fingering throughout the whole piece. You'll be working in small sections in this phase, and there'll be plenty of little pauses and hesitations as you're practicing. But when you move into the skills phase, you'll be fine-tuning your technique. In this phase, we're looking for accurate and skillful playing. We finesse our technique by observing our brackets, closing our fingers well, and moving the hands efficiently. You'll be practicing slowly with a metronome. In this phase, you're trying to achieve accuracy with a steady pulse and no small hesitations. In the skills phase, you're actually sounding really quite good, but there's more to do beyond accuracy. Next, you want to work toward artistry. This is where the music starts to come to life with expression and character. You'll be working on your final tempo, the dynamics, phrasing, and imagery. If you like this idea of learning to identify how your pieces are moving through these 3 phases, then you should go download my free practice planner. You'll find it at musicdiscoveries.podia.com, which is my platform for delivering tutorials, courses, and learning resources like this one. While you're there, be sure to check out my new course, For the Beauty of the Earth. Once you've got your download, you can print the pages and set up a binder or a clipboard, or download the PDF onto your iPad and use your Apple Pencil to fill in the charts. The download includes 3 charts for weekly planning, a repertoire list for pieces that you know, and a wish list for pieces that you would like to learn. I'd encourage you to use this planner for 3 weeks and see how it feels. And if you like it, just print more pages. When you're ready to get started, I have 3 suggestions for making the most out of your practice planner. First, I want you to try planning your practice at the beginning of the week. Take a few minutes to sit down with a fresh chart and plan the pieces that will get your focused attention. There's room for up to 4 pieces on your chart, which is probably plenty for most of you. Set a specific weekly goal for each piece, something that's just out of reach but attainable in a week. Maybe something like learn section 3 and 4, or play with the metronome at 80, memorize page 1, or count out loud in section 2. You see how I'm being very specific, and I can attain these things in just 1 week. The 5th practice item is completely flexible. You could choose maybe some technique or theory or extra sight reading. And it could be something that's different every day, completely up to you. My second suggestion is to track your practice time. It's a great idea to set a 20-minute timer for your practice. And after the first block of 20 minutes, get up, stretch, maybe have a drink of water, and then I'd encourage you to go back and do another 20 minutes if that feels good for you. Or you might like to spread out your practice blocks throughout the day. Remember, consistency is the secret ingredient to long-term progress. And my third suggestion is to take note of the phase of learning for each of your pieces. Are you working at the basics phase, or skills, or artistry? It might be motivating to choose pieces that are at different stages of learning and at different levels of difficulty. It's kind of like planning a fancy menu for a dinner. You want to have some variety. It's not all about the turkey all the time. Use the space provided in your practice chart to make some quick reminders of what you've practiced, and this will help you pick up on the next day and continue practicing where you left off. So let's sit down with a practice chart, and I'll show you how I might fill out mine for a given week. We can start by writing in the dates for the week and label the days for tracking our practice time. Now, I think I'll make my first item a technique item, so I'm going to use my perfect placing workbook, number 8, 9, and 10, for my warm-up this week. And my goal will be to play through these warm-ups with the rhythm variations. So I've given myself a specific, actionable goal. Then I think I'll choose a review piece, something from my current repertoire. So how about Eleanor Plunkett? And I just need to play that through 2 times every day to dust it off. Now I'll choose something that's in progress. So for me, that's going to be Claire de Lune, and my goal here is to get ready to record this by the end of the week. And let's say that I've signed up for the Beauty of the Earth course, and I'll make my goal to complete modules 1 and 2 this week. You can show the days that you've practiced each item as you've planned, and also include your daily practice times here. This is going to give you a really good point of focus for the week, and at the end of the week, you'll have a very clear picture of what you really got done. So go get your practice planner download, it's free, and start planning and tracking your practice today. I challenge you to stick with it for 3 weeks. Be very consistent, because I think your progress is going to make you feel energized and motivated. Happy practicing.